Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. Preparing for and bringing home a new baby can be one of the most exciting times in your life, but it can also be one of the most stressful. Joining us with tips on how to best prepare yourself for the changes to come, we welcome chiropractor Dr. Jewell. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We were just saying much to discuss because there are so many things for our mind and our body. You just kind of don't know what you don't know going into all this.
Exactly. Yeah, so I mean, obviously there's things like staying fit, eating healthy, all the things we kind of know. But then other things like to prepare our body physically is getting the body work, doing certain stretches and exercises that are optimally beneficial for baby to be in the right position and for your body to do that hard work of delivering baby.
Yeah, because I think we've all kind of heard, you know, staying active as much as you can in a healthy way is always good. Are there certain things that you recommend in terms of, especially in the final stretch, getting your body really prepped and making sure baby is in the best position?
Yes. So I mean, doing all the like alignment body work stuff with chiropractic, with massage, with PT, spinning babies is a great free resource that gives kind of like yoga style stretches, exercises, really specific moves to help the pelvis open up.
And then what about the mental preparation, both for the person that's getting ready to give birth and any of their support people around them, especially their partner? There's a lot that we can kind of, I think, hopefully share the mental load together.
Yes, absolutely. It sounds kind of woo, but I think everything in life is 50% mental, and childbirth is no different. So if we're going into birth feeling kind of fearful and scared and unsure what's going to happen, which I think is really common, especially in our current model, then we're kind of setting ourselves up for something to go wrong because we're not going into it with that positive, like, I know my body can do this, I trust my body can do this. So again, there's a lot of education, a lot of like meditation techniques very geared for childbirth to get in that positive mental space.
Well, and is there a certain balance in terms of you prepare as much as you can, but you also have to embrace things might change. I have to trust the people around me that are going to take care of me, and we're all going to figure this out together. It might not look exactly how I thought it was going to.
Yes, exactly. I say I like to have an idea, not a plan.
Yes.
Because plans can go wrong.
That's good.
But ideas are there.
That's good. And then what about communicating your hopes and your preferences with the people around you? Is that kind of helpful, just making sure we're all on the same page?
Yeah, and I think this is another thing where a lot of this initial work does fall to the birthing parent.
Yeah.
And it's usually out of a place of love, like, I want you to do what feels best for you, so you decide and let me know. Great, but now I have to do all this work. And now I have to educate you and everybody of what I want and what I've learned. And so streamlining that, having a birth support person like a doula, or, you know, talking with your provider of like, this is what I've been looking at. You know, can we talk about this? Let's make that idea, not plan.
Can you talk more about what a doula specifically does? I think more and more people are using them, but not everybody is kind of aware of what that role is.
Yes, I know. So many people don't realize. And I say, really, it's like insurance for your birth, right? Your birth might be totally fine, fast, no issues, and the doula might just be there, and you're like, oh yeah, it was great that you were there.
A new friend.
A new friend. But a lot of the times, that's not the case. Births are really long. People who don't feel comfortable or confident enough to advocate for themselves, so they go in with really specific wants, and they just can't voice it. Either they're in too much pain, their partner's nervous, right? Like, their partner is in pain, it's their baby, like, they're gonna do whatever the doctor says is best, and they're not gonna maybe be in that moment able to advocate as much. So that's a really big piece. And then it's also just the length, right? I mean, 24 hours is the average labor time for a first birth, and that's a long time for someone to be awake and supportive. And so having a tap out to like have that physical backup is also huge.
That makes a lot of sense, and even in the best of circumstances, it can be pretty stressful at times, especially if you are just somebody going through so much pain. You can't even really articulate what you're experiencing in that moment.
Yes, and I keep telling people to advocate because now insurances are starting to pay for some of these things. So like ask your employer and say, oh, can we look at a plan that offers more maternal health care support?
And then what about lactation education and that support immediately postpartum? That's so important too.
Yes, and I think this is another thing where we don't realize we can actually do some of this before the baby's born, because you're not sleep deprived. You can take that info in, and lactation at my office says 70% of issues can be troubleshooted by education before baby.
Okay.
So this is another big one where, you know, painful latch, baby just not wanting to get on a nurse, and I think we all think, oh, it's going to be easy, it's going to be fine. Nobody talks about how hard it is, and it is for so many people.
It really is. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
And then what about baby-proofing your relationship? I love that term because it is quite a toll on everybody involved. It's a lot of work.
Yes, and we're living in this modern culture now where we are raising kids pretty much on our own. right? Traditionally, we've had our tribe, our village, and we don't really have that. And it puts a huge strain on relationships. And we can see that with divorce rates in our country, like 50% higher with couples having multiple children under the age of 4, which is just a crazy statistic to me. So again, it's one of those things like, I don't know what I don't know, but like talking about, oh, well, I've always cooked dinner, but now I'm gonna be nursing the baby. So now I think that's gonna be your job to cook dinner. But if you don't talk about that, then dinner doesn't get cooked, right? Stuff like that.
Well, it sounds so simple, but you really do have to kind of put the pieces together and realize, which again, you don't know what you don't know, but you are aware that your life is going to change drastically. So just going into it with that team mindset can make such a big difference.
Right. And that roles are going to probably shift.
Yeah.
We're
going to figure it out. And that's okay. Hey, thank you so much. Good stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.